and welcome to Tiny Table Talk for The Challenge Season 36 Double Agents Episode 6. We got a lot to go over, and let's start off this episode talking about team rankings. Now, in this past week's episode, we saw everyone competing in the daily challenge called Smuggle Run, which was a mini final. It was a 5-mile race where people were holding on to a big, heavy, cumbersome capsule, carrying this thing as a duo through obstacles, trying to get through puzzles, not only for power, but for money and for some special prizes. Now, in this segment, I want to go over where everyone finished, and I want to talk about who impressed me and who was a bit disappointing in their performance. So we're going to start off with the top 5, and the top 5, of course, is Jay and Teresa, Corey and Ashley, Kam and Kyle, Josh and Nani, Leroy and Casey. I want to just say how proud and I think shocking it was to see Jay and Teresa win. I think they get underrated for how their size are compared to everyone else. They don't look to be the most physically dominant team, but they work together. And I will say that I feel that they definitely needed Corey and Ashley to make a mistake to secure this win. I'm not trying to take anything away from Jay and Teresa because they did the right thing. They were focused and they really booked it on that last stretch with Corey and Ashley hot on their heels. Of course, Corey and Ashley are no longer a duo as Ashley was eliminated this episode, but they were a really good team. Of course, they were already partners in Rivals 3 together, and they've been kind of hand in hand in their challenge careers with one another. And they were also like two halves of a coin. Corey with the strength and Ashley with the brains. I think both of them really worked well together, and it's sad to see that they're not going to be paired up with each other because they would have been a force to be reckoned with. Kam and Kyle, a fantastic duo. Top 3 in this daily challenge. Kyle looking strong, especially after last year's finals, coming in second place. He looks like he's in a fantastic shape again this season with his stamina, and I feel like this challenge performance really solidified why Kam wanted to stick with Kyle. I think they worked well together, and now that Ashley's out of the game, in Kam's mind, okay, now we just bumped up to 2. And Jay and Teresa have a ton of heat on them, so why not stay with Kyle? Josh and Nani, I think, really impressive performance. I think Nani is looking like Nani from Free Agents, where she was fantastic in those finals. She worked well with partners in that finals, and she did her thing. I think her stock really rose in this performance in this daily challenge, and I feel like other competitors need to be looking at Nani, possibly being like, okay, well, I kind of want to be paired up with her. She works well with partners, and she's gonna give it 110%. Josh, I mean, I think it goes to show that teamwork really helps each other, because Josh and Nani really put in that teamwork, are real friends, and they did their thing. Leroy and Casey actually are kind of shocking that they came in 5th. I think being a physically dominant team, I was expecting a little bit more from them, but of course, top 5, I felt like they should be in the top 5. Now let's go down the list of the bottom 6, and that is Amber and Darrell, Lolo and Nam, Gabby and Devin, Amber and Michi, CT and Big T, and Anissa and Fessy. I have to say that Amber and Darrell did a fantastic job in the beginning of this daily challenge. They were up at the top, and then they kind of started losing some ground coming in the middle of the pack. I was expecting them to get top 5. Another team that I thought could possibly get top 5 was Lolo and Nam. I think coming into this challenge season and seeing them together on a duo, I think people were like, wow, that's the team to watch out for. They are so physically strong, and they are going to give people a run for their money. And even in some of the comment sections from my video, people were like, oh, well, why aren't people stealing Lolo? Why aren't people stealing Nam? We haven't seen them being featured in the season thus far, but I think that this was their okay, this is what everybody else has been seeing from them in this challenge season, in these daily challenges. And Lolo is super, super intense. I mean, they're fighting this whole time. I think it's a testament that with them bickering the whole race, the whole 5 miles, that they were able to get 7th place. I would expected them to get possibly in the top 5, maybe 3rd place if they would have worked together, but they are fighting from the very beginning through the very end. I mean, when everyone is standing there, dog tired, Lolo is coming at Nam being like, I wanted to run, I wanted to jog, I wanted to finish strong, which makes sense. But in a duo, there has to be compromises. And it feels as though that both Lolo and Nam are just having some miscommunication problems and both sides are just shutting down. It feels as though that Lolo is getting louder and getting more intense because maybe she feels Nam isn't listening to her, but Nam is hearing, but it's now shutting down because while she's getting louder, he's shutting down. It's a terrible situation for them. And this is possibly something where I feel like their stock has dropped in this daily challenge. I think Nam is somebody that people could look to want to work with, but I just don't know if there's a ton of people. It has to be like a perfect duo situation for people to be like, yes, I want to be paired up with Lolo in the final, when it seemed as though that there was a lot of bickering, there was a lot of intense, heated moments with them, and then there was some judging when he couldn't get the puzzle like right away. It's also a testament to Gabby and Devin, who I don't even know if they've talked at all this season. They just got into a partnership right like 5 minutes before gearing up to get into this 5-mile run, and they came in right behind Lolo and Nam. It seems as though CT and Big T, that there's some growing like shiftiness happening between them after last episodes. Like, yeah, we won, we're together, and we did this thing. And now it's like CT's calling Big T an anchor. Seemed like there was a lot happening in between that duo, and a lot starting to creep up within the duo itself. And of course, Anissa and Fessy got last. Almost reminds me of last year's finals with Fessy coming in last place. I think he's going to be looking at Anissa saying like, oh, Anissa was the main culprit in this. But I mean, you got to take your part in this as well. So it doesn't surprise me that they came in the bottom 6, but it definitely surprises me that they came in dead last. I can see a lot of people wanting to switch up their partners, but overall, I think this is very telling, and I'm hoping this is going to kick people in the butt to start wanting to get into eliminations, wanting to set up themselves for the end game and get to the finals. So that's just how I broke it down, and I want you to tell me who impressed you in this daily challenge, and who do you think should be switching out partners, and who would you like to see partnered up heading down towards the finals? Let me know that in the comment section below. Did Jay and Teresa make the right move? I feel that this was more a move for Teresa, that Teresa made the better move for herself. I think Kam, if you watch the Aftermath post show, Kam makes a point to say that, hey, I think Teresa made the right move for her, not necessarily Jay making the right move for him. And I completely agree with that, because if you look at what we just talked about in the standings, only 3 teams were able to finish the puzzle. It was Jay and Teresa, Corey and Ashley. And you take out Ashley in the equation, you go after Ashley, you take her out. Now Teresa is looking like the prime partner. She's trying to set herself up as the partner that men want to be partnered up with to go further into the game and maybe get some security for her, right? She came in first, meaning she is tough, she is strong, she has the stamina, and people can work well with her in a duo. And also saying like, hey, if you want to get past puzzles, you got me or you got Anissa now. I feel as though that possibly what she should have done is gone in against someone and gotten her gold skull. I get it that we don't know exactly if it was going to be a men's day or a women's day, but it feels as though that this is getting to be a predictable game for everyone in the eliminations, because there's one point where somebody says we're assuming it's a women's day and then it becomes a women's day. I think that the best move would have been that there's a lot of heat on Teresa coming into this episode. People are questioning where she lies, what her loyalties are. She wins this daily challenge, and I feel that she should have just got the muster up and got the house vote to be whoever she wanted to be, send herself in, win this elimination, get her gold skull, and then show like, look, I came here to play, I'm setting myself up, and now I'm the partner that everyone should want to be with, right? I feel that should have been it. But this is also the problem with being a partnership or a duo or somebody who plays the middle of the fence too much, and then you get into power. And you're trying to play both sides this whole time, and then all of a sudden you get into some power, and now how can you stay neutral in a position of power? It can't happen. You're gonna piss off somebody either here or there. Are you gonna piss off the rookie side that you're trying to be friends with, or are you gonna piss off the vet side that you're also trying to play with? We've seen this happen with Teresa's game before, where she, I feel, doesn't think things through fully. Like, if you think back to Free Agents, where she got her whole winning team to vote in Laurel, and then all of a sudden, when it came down to voting, she didn't say Laurel's name. So it pissed off everyone that she got to say Laurel's name and stick their necks out on the line. But then somebody, Devin, ran to Laurel saying, hey, guess what? This wasn't our plan. Teresa was really pushing for it, and then she backed out of it. So now Laurel's pissed off with Teresa, which Teresa was trying not to do, and then everybody else was pissed off with Teresa. And I think this is more proof that possibly Teresa isn't thinking the long term. And I think she was trying to save herself, but it's just, I feel like this was a bad move for her. And I think ultimately, Kam is gonna get the last laugh over Teresa in this challenge season, because there's such a huge target, and now Kam has her gold skull, and I don't think anybody is really going to want to take a shot at Kam or going up against Kam or throwing her in another elimination. So not good for Theresa and Jay, ultimately, I think, in the big picture. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments from my Thursday's review and recap of The Challenge Season 36 Double Agents Episode 6. And we're going to start off with a comment from Paris, who says, the way Leroy just went out and said, I'm not voting for Ashley, was hilarious. That was one of my favorite parts of this episode, because it was just like, there was so much secret happening in the house where Teresa was like trying to keep it away from Ashley. But then at the deliberation, that's when Nany was like, we know that Teresa and Jay have a plan. They told us who to vote for, kind of still trying to keep it vague. And then Leroy's just like, yeah, no, I'm not voting in Ashley. Like, that was just so funny. And to me, it was just such a boss move. I loved it. I laughed so hard. Every time I watched it, it was really, really funny. The next comment comes from Jeremiah, who says, all in all, I love that Teresa shook up the house and send in strong girls, so when she gets hers, there'll be more girls she thinks she can beat than not. But pissing off Kam is a bad decision, since Kam is queen and controls most of the numbers, but it hurts Jay more than Teresa. Also, Lolo and Nam had an underwhelming performance this episode. Have to agree with you there. I think the better move would have been either sending in yourself or throwing in, say, Nany versus Ashley, and then you for sure pinpoint at least one of them goes in. I just don't know if maybe Teresa didn't think that Nany could win against Ashley, so that's why she didn't send her in, and she wanted to send in Kam, and then you take out at least one strong competitor that you think is gunning after you. But now Kam comes back in the house 100-fold, really just locking in on you and Jay, and yeah, this is bad for Jay. The next comment comes from John, who says, it's official, Corey is the Black Widow of the season. We'll see who gets to be his partner next, because might smell danger. Oh my goodness, when Corey said he can't keep a partner to save his life, I felt it. I felt it right here, because it's just not working out for him. The next comment comes from Jamie, who says, was I the only one who got scared when TJ said it was going to be a big day for the men, ... to watch their partners? I love Kyle and Corey. I didn't want to see any of them gone. That would have been huge if it was a men's elimination. I'm not gonna lie, because there was so much being put into this edit about Ashley being paranoid Pam, that I guess looking back on it, it would have made no real sense if there was so much being put into that narrative to foreshadow that Ashley was going to be sent into the elimination to have it flip to be a men's day. But how crazy would it have been? That would have been such a huge blindside, I think, to the audience and to everybody in the house if it was legit a men's day. The next comment comes from Marissa, who says, sad Leo left, but I'm glad he made a good decision for his mental health. I completely agree 100%. Leo, I think, had so much potential. He was such a star character in the beginning with wrestling Kyle, with his moving story, his backstory. We did get to see him in the Aftermath post-show, and he seems to be doing a ton better. I think just being a pandemic, knowing you have a pregnant wife and 2 small children at home in California was just a lot on him, and also his past in the group home. So I think that knowing now everyone is cool, he is feeling much better, I think that there is a shot that he will be back on another challenge season, and I would love to see that happen because I don't think we got to see fully what he could do on the challenge. The next comment comes from Kiki, who says, all the guys want to be Kam's partner now, but no one wanted to pick her in the first episode. Oh my gosh, yes, to this comment, 100,000%. My gosh, you hit the nail on the head because everybody was just picking partners. They were picking who they were standing by, and Kam went to CT wanting to be CT's partner, and CT totally blew her off. And it's like now everybody wants to be Kam's partner now that they saw what she could do in that mini final, in the season politicking, and now getting her gold skull against Ashley. And now it's like, oh, a little too late because now she's showing some loyalty to somebody who actually wanted to be her partner and chose her when they won their elimination with Kyle, and she's staying loyal. And guess what? If you would have picked her and then she would have got thrown in, she would have probably stayed loyal to whoever picked her in that first episode. So you know what? This is comeuppance. And you know what? That's why I'm happy that she stuck with Kyle. And that is it for this episode of Tiny Table Talk. Thank you so much for watching. What'd you think about this episode? What'd you think about the rankings and duos? Let me know that in the comment section below. Let me know anything and everything you thought about this episode. And let me know down in the comment section below who you think will get the last laugh. Whether it be in the finals, whether it be later on in an elimination, or just later on this season. Who do you think will get the last laugh between Teresa and Kam? Let me know that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 36 Double Agent content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.